This is an overnight adventure, and it's going to be basically a gear testing trip. And I figured since I was going out there to do this testing, I would film it and share it with you all. I have some new pieces of gear that are rather interesting, some of which you all have been asking about. So yeah, I'll tell you more about that later. One piece of kit is a military surplus product, and it is wild. I've never seen anything quite like it before. A viewer, he told me about this, and I'm glad I got it. I think you guys are going to like it too. But this will be the first time I've really tested it out, so we'll see just how well it performs. For now, I'm going to drive. I'll see you all at Lone Wolf Mountain in about an hour. It is unbelievably hot. It is in the mid 70s. For this time of year, for this location, it's hot. Whew. Cheers, everyone. This is what I'm looking for. Tree straps. When you're using a hammock system, these are invaluable. They will protect the trees. As I mentioned at the beginning, for me this is a gear testing trip, and I figured I would bring you all with me. In addition to the gear testing, here at Lone Wolf Mountain there's something that I've always wanted to do, and in this episode we're going to do it. With the setup of the Haven, this is my first time doing so, and the setup is somewhat different than your traditional hammock. Because of the tree placement, this is just about as good as I can do. It doesn't get any better. Well, you know how it goes. Okay. This is the Haven tent. My very first setup. I need to make some adjustments on this just to kind of level it out just a little bit, but this is very interesting. So check this out, everyone. You have this spreader bar here. The sleeping pad goes down here in the bottom, then it connects in the corners. And that's what gives this hammock tent its shape. Down here on the ground, this is the launch pad from Go Outfitters. And that's so that you have a place to put your shoes and whatnot. Now check out this piece of kit here, folks. This is very, very interesting. This is a blanket, it's a tarp, it can be used as a stretcher, and also as a sunshade. You can use this in the forest, you can use this with your vehicle. It's pretty adaptable. I am going to use this as a sunshade. Here, here, here. Okay. You might be able to see in the corners of this tarp there's fasteners, and they allow for a very quick setup. You don't have to tie any knots, nothing like that, you just wrap. And I'll show you more about those in just a second. The last thing to set up is the chair. Then I'll tell you all a little bit about this gear that we have here. As I mentioned before, some of this is really, really cool. With the tarp here, this is from Forest Protector Gear. This is actually a military product. There is a civilian version of it. It's a little bit different, but for the most part, it's the same thing. This is the field blanket. As far as the smart features go, check this out. In each of the corners, you have these tie-offs, right? They allow for a very quick deployment. All you have to do is attach your line to a tree, and then you can just wrap it around those tie-off points. Those are pretty smart. Then when it comes to the tarp itself, in between the layers of fabric, there's a piece of basically mylar. It's a piece of Reflectix. I believe the company calls it ThermaShield. What makes it so impressive is this. It prevents radiant heat from coming through the material. So as I'm underneath this tarp, I feel the actual temperature of the environment. I don't feel the temperature of the sun. With a traditional tarp, you would feel the radiant heat coming through the material. That's not the case with this one. Next up, when it comes to that hammock, it has adjustable lines. Those are really, really cool. You have the straps that connect to the trees, then you have these adjustable lines. And what makes them adjustable is tension. I want to say that I've seen those somewhere, but I can't think of where exactly. They make the setup process a breeze. As far as the time goes, it is roughly 3:15, so I have some time before the sun goes down. I do not need to collect any firewood today. I am going to have a fire, but I don't need firewood. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a little bit. As you all can see, I have the fly going up, and I'm doing this real loose. As far as the setup process goes for the Haven hammock, all in all, that is very simple. If you're accustomed to setting up hammocks, you can figure this out no problem. I have to say, I like the design of this quite a bit. My biggest question is, how comfortable is it? That's what I'm going to learn tonight. Can I sleep on my side? Can I sleep on my stomach? Primarily, I'm a side sleeper, so that's what I'm really interested in. Comment down below, what do you all think about this hammock tent? Interesting indeed. Also, a little bit heavy. This entire setup is right at 8 pounds, so that is a little bit heavy. I will be honest, folks, that boiled much faster than I expected. I really didn't mean to boil it, but that's okay. The solution is to add more coffee. I added more water, I need more coffee. Cheers, my friends, cheers. I'll tell you what, the hours have been flying by and I don't feel like I've really accomplished much. It's now 4:44, Make-A-Wish or something, I guess. Since I arrived here at Lone Wolf Mountain, I've been primarily focused on the gear. I've been focusing on this tarp and also on that hammock tent. Both of these items are really interesting. Talking about the tarp here for a second, there's things that I like and also don't like. I think the design of this is cool, but it has one big flaw, one major flaw. The outside material is not connected to the inside, the middle layer. So it's almost like it's its own separate entity. So as you set this up, it has like this air gap between like the mylar part. So it's almost like a parachute or like a balloon sort of thing. Otherwise, there's air trapped inside of that. So when you go to break this down, when you go to fold up this material, you're gonna have to push the air out of it. So that I don't really like. Is it a deal breaker? No. Not only do I love filming these videos, talking to you all, but I love every single piece of gear. The good, the bad, I love it all. I love seeing how things are designed, how they're put together, the materials. I like seeing products that excel. It's also interesting to me to see products that fail. I've been doing this for 9 years now. The channel is growing at a terrific pace. Let's see, over the last month or so, 30,000 subscribers. Cheers to you all, I appreciate it big time. In my opinion, the best part is the people. I have met some amazing viewers, I really have. In fact, I have a number of shout outs to give. Let's go ahead and let's start with the guy who told me about this Force Protector Gear field blanket. Before I do that though, let me tell you this. Force Protector Gear needs to work on their website. That is the most confusing site. There are so many products that look just like this, but they're not this. They're all different and they're just scattered all over the place. They do not do a good job of showing you or telling you what's the difference between each of these. Why would you pick this over that? Anyways, Ty, my friend, thank you so much for telling me about this. He wrote in, told me that he had a couple of these and that he loved them. He even gave me a link to this one, and I think, let's see, I paid $80 for this. The retail price of this, I want to say, is 400 bucks. I mean, it's super expensive. The thing about this is a military surplus product, which is awesome. That is awesome. Why is that awesome? Military surplus pricing. Again, 80 bucks. The rest of the shout outs, I have to go to my notes because I simply do not remember them. And there's a ton here. Folks, thank you all so much for everything. Greg, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate the salmon. Daryl, the hazelnut coffee, the Folgers, the house blend, and also the heated socks. Thank you so much, my friend. You are awesome. Let's see, there's Tim and his wife. Thank you so much for the coffee. And now I don't remember what this means. Thanks for keeping the road clear. Tim, does that make any sense? Why'd I write that down? I don't remember. I'm a failure, guys. I'm a failure. Steve, my friend, thank you so much for the Vietnamese coffee and also for your support. I appreciate it. Then there's Johnny. He has a YouTube channel, Expeditionary Johnny. Check him out. Let's see. Then there's Steve. He sent me a book called Down to a Sunless Sea. It is about a nuclear war, just like Alas Babylon or 1 Second After. Oh, there's some others. But anyways, those books are fantastic. I cannot wait to read this one. Thank you so much. I'm still working on Alas Babylon. I started listening to the audiobook, and it is read by Will Patton. That is an actor. I don't know if he's ever been like the main character in a movie. And if he was, it was probably like a low budget sort of thing. Most of the time he plays like the side characters, supporting characters, I don't know. But anyways, he has an amazing voice. Amazing. That book is fantastic. The first time I read that, I was a kid. That book came out in the 50s. Then there's Jerome from Canada. He sent a Gold Zero flashlight. Thank you so much, man. I can't wait to check that out. Then we have Mike, my buddy Mike. He sent me a headlamp. You're the man. I have it with me, and I'm going to begin testing it out today. Or tonight. Then there's Gavin. He sent me a Wiggy's poncho liner. That thing is sweet. Thank you so much, buddy. I may have a video on that coming up soon. Next up, we have CJ. My friend, thank you so much. You went above and beyond, and I really appreciate it. CJ sent in the Namaj Inner. I can't believe you found it. I can't believe you sent it to me, man. I mean, I owe you big time, big time. I cannot wait to get that out, to put it into the tent and use it this summer. Those are virtually impossible to find. I contacted Heelerberg and I asked them about that inner, and they said that they are not making inners this year. Good luck finding one. Next up, I have a shout out for Sam. Your significant other named Sam says hi. Sam and Sam. Okay, then there's Russ. Thank you so much for the coffee. I tried sending you an email, my friend, but I kept getting like a bounce back. It said something about like some security thing. I had to fill out a form. I didn't have time for that, but thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Val, my friend, thank you so much for the books that you sent in. I can't wait to read those. And Joe, thank you so much for the pad inflator. That's what I used in this episode. That's my first time using a pad inflator. Lightweight, it works great. Cheers to you all. Thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you all big time. I really do. To every supporter, thank you so much. To everybody who writes in, I appreciate it. I do have one protocol when it comes to writing in. If you want to send me a message, if you want to ask me a question, make sure that it's courteous. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but let me explain things. As I mentioned before, strength and honor. Those are key words in my philosophy of life. Strength and honor. And strength and honor ties over to courtesy. When you write in and you say, what is the best tent? And that's all you say, I'm not going to answer it. Write in, say, hey Luke, how you doing? Be courteous, then I will address it. But I'm not going to waste my time for people that don't have time to be courteous. With the creation of the internet, courtesy has gone out the window. Everyone's accustomed to just typing whatever they want to. I don't like that. So I think we need to go back a few steps. We need to be courteous. We need to think about the way that we talk to each other. I'm going off track there, sorry about that. Anyways, folks, I'm going to finish up my coffee, and then we're going to head to the top of the mountain. We have something to do. Let's see, how much light do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 3.5. We have about 3.5 hours of light left. What I did there was this. I took my hand, I looked up at the sky. Maybe you can see that. Think of each finger as 15 minutes. The width of your hand is an hour total. So 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. what I'm about to do is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. When I purchased this property, I put a picnic table on it, and my brother-in-law gave me some like wooden furniture. I have never liked that picnic table, and I don't like that furniture. I don't know, there was something about it. It gave this place a different type of feel. It just didn't feel right to me, if that makes any sort of sense. All of this stuff now is rotten, so it's time to cut it up. Let's burn it. Tonight we are going to have a big roaring fire, and I can't wait. So folks, let's do this. That was nice and easy. Cheers, my friends, cheers. Dos Equis, this is good stuff. Between this and Yingling, which one's my favorite? I'm not sure. I like both, quite a bit actually. What about you, Dos Equis or Yingling? This is the first bit of alcohol that I've had since, I think it was last year when I had that weird encounter in Virginia. There was like a vehicle driving by my campsite, and the two people on the inside of that vehicle were so messed up on something, who knows what. They were just laughing nonstop. It sounded like a hyena, or I don't know. It was just really, really strange. They were super messed up. Anyways, not too bad, not too bad. It is basically time for dinner. What I have here is a new meal from a company called Happy Yak Express. We have mandarin beef and rice. Bring to a boil, stir constantly, reduce heat, simmer for 2 minutes. Check that out. The buzzards, they want my dinner. That's funny. All right, folks, let's give this a shot. It smells really good. Super hot. Why didn't I wait? It's good, but it's not great. What I think of when I'm eating this is that this is like a super healthy meal. And that's a good thing, but super healthy doesn't oftentimes mean super flavorful. For myself, I don't think this is something that I would purchase again. It's okay, but it's not great. As I've been sitting here having dinner, I've been thinking about a number of trips that I want to go on. When I film backpacking adventures, when I go across the country, I'm so focused on filming those trips that I really don't get to do much photography. Oftentimes, like after hiking, after filming, I'm so burned out on messing with this camera, I just can't bring myself to go take pictures. Photography is a passion of mine. I love doing it. And I would love to go back to the places that I've been before and take pictures. I don't know, maybe I will one day, who knows. Talking about photography for a minute, my style is very much surreal. And I'll go ahead and I'll show you some examples of what I've taken recently.
There's a lot of colors, I don't know where to go. See a lot of colors, only feeling blue. There's a lot of colors, lost within a haze. Don't rely on others to get you through the maze. The dreams are not the same for me. Standing by the shore while you're on the open sea, cannot take this anymore.
Now you can see here that I have this light strip going. This is a product from the Hammock company, and it's interesting, but it creates serious problems. You may not be able to see it, but there are bugs all over this. I was going to show you all me getting inside of this, but because of the bugs, I don't think I will. Here we go. Let's try to get inside of this with minimal bug action. Okay. All right, everyone, inside now. So, we'll see how comfortable this is. This is interesting. It's not perfect, and I could see that already. So, like, one issue that I have here is with the zippers for these doors, because this is not a two-way zipper. You don't have zippers at both ends. It will be interesting to see if I can lay like this all night, because while it is flatter than a hammock, it's not completely flat. You can kind of see already, but there is a bow here. So I don't know if I can lay like this and be comfortable, but yeah, who knows. Alright. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, I am going to call it a night. I have a movie to watch. I'm going to watch one of my favorite movies. That is No Country for Old Men. I love that movie. The dialogue is excellent. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Then shoot me an email and let me know what you thought about it. And if you like it, great. If you don't like it, great. Good morning, my friends. Good morning. It is coffee time, also breakfast time. Some cowboy coffee. I also made some oatmeal. I got up around 5:30 this morning and just been hanging out, having a good time. It's funny, I woke up and I was hearing some owls. Then I started hearing turkeys. I am surrounded by farmland, so I start hearing a donkey. It's a good morning, a lively morning. Cheers, cheers. Oh man, that is so smooth, so smooth. Let's see. As for last night, let's talk about gear for a second. The Haven Hammock tent. It is known as a hammock and also a tent. I slept incredibly well last night. I did. It is super comfortable, no doubt about it. I was able to sleep on my side somewhat, not 100% on my side, but just enough. I kind of felt like when I was completely on my side, there's still like a little bit of that banana bend in the hammock. Like that wasn't 100% comfortable to me, but like if I would just turn just a little bit, super comfortable. The thing is with the Haven, you don't lay 100% flat. It's close. It is much better than a hammock, but it's not 100%. My thoughts are this so far, and again, this is just one night out. I have a ton of testing to do. If you're not a fan of hammocks, I don't think this is going to change your mind. If you do like hammocks, this is without a doubt an upgrade. Without a doubt. My biggest cons, one is that this is not very wide. It's roughly 24 inches wide. I'm not a big guy, but even for myself, it's a little bit tight. Not as tight as a traditional hammock, but still tight. Next would be weight. Guess how much this weighs? So that's the fly, the hammock tent thing, the pad, and all of the lines, straps, and so on. That is 8 pounds. So that is one heavy system right there. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I can always go lighter weight with a tent setup than a hammock setup. And that's especially true with this. On the flip side, folks, I will say this. This is a very compact system. This is a system that you could use with a very small pack. You can actually separate the components. You can have, the hammock system on this side, the pad on the other side. It would work. The way that this allows you to lay somewhat flat, it has spreader bars at the top, and the pad itself acts as a sort of base. I would say for the most part, the pad is proprietary. You have to use this pad to get the best pitch. I have not heard of anyone using a different sleeping pad to a great effect. Oftentimes they will fold in the corners. It just doesn't work as well. Something else to mention, if your pad goes flat, if you have a leak, that's going to become a full-fledged hammock, so it's not going to work all that well. If you decide to purchase one of these and use it, make sure that you have a repair kit. That will be super important. You guys hear that? Those turkeys? That's too funny. Let's see, next piece of kit, this force protector gear tarp thing. I really like it. The thermos shield that's on the inside of this, it does work. I stayed nice and cool when I was underneath this yesterday. I've been trying to think of a way to attach this to my truck without having like cordage all over the place, and I think I've come up with something. Stay tuned, my friends, stay tuned. There's that donkey. And the turkeys. That's funny. I tell you what, I love this place. I love Lone Wolf Mountain. This is my favorite place in the universe. I've said that many, many times. I'm so thankful that I have it. It was one of those things where I was at the right place, the right time, and it's possible because of hard work. Plain and simple. As far as the adventure goes, it's going to end here. I have quite a bit of work to do before I go home. I need to go back up to the top of the mountain and take care of the mess that I made yesterday. I was burning that wood last night. I did not get done, and I'm not going to do it today, but I need to clean it up. All that I burned was a picnic table, and that's it. Now, I did not burn the legs. Those were pressure treated, but everything else was not. Oftentimes with picnic tables, the tops are not pressure treated because that's what's coming into contact with your skin and also with your food and whatnot. PT will last roughly 20 years. That table's lasted about 3. So it's definitely not pressure treated, but the legs were. Oh man, cowboy coffee. That is so incredibly smooth. I appreciate you all for joining me with this trip. I hope you all have had a good time with me. I know this was low key. The next one will be more entertaining, more action-packed, I guess. I will be back in a few days. There's a rain event coming, so I'm going to use a natural element shelter. And that wraps it up for this episode. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up before you go. I do appreciate it. You can support the Outdoor Gear Review on Patreon or on YouTube. You can join the Wolf Pack. Make sure to comment down below. What do you all think about the Haven hammock? What do you all think about the Force Protector Gear sunshade field blanket thing? Force Protector Gear, work on your website. It is a mess. All right, folks, take care, be well, strength and honor. Bye for now.